What's shuckin', my clams? That was bad. That was really bad. Hi, I'm Samwise. Amish Kaboogerhoffen. And I've been backpacking now for over 20 years. I've done it all, everything from ultralight to expedition weight and everything in between. And I'm here to show you all the hard lessons I made so you can make informed decisions on your own. Welcome to Backpacking Basics. Hello friends and comrades, I am Samwise and I am not where all the hair from the barbershop floor goes when it's swept up after closing. In this video I'd like to talk to you a little bit about backpacking, about ultralight backpacking, and about why we need to stop thinking about our outdoor activities categorically. You see, I've been backpacking now for 20 years and change, and I've done just about every style there is to try. I've done lightweight, I've done ultralight, I've done expedition weight, I've done bushcraft, I've stealth camped, the whole spectrum there. One of the biggest positives that I've ever encountered was kind of getting out of the mindset of thinking of those things. Let me explain. When someone sets out to go, let's say, ultralight, they tend to think categorically. They go, well, I want to be UL, so I'm going to do everything UL, and I'm going to stick specifically to this mindset. I'm going to box myself in ideologically and not experience the other aspects of backpacking. Likewise, if someone says, well, I really like expedition weight backpacking, I'm an expedition weight backpacker, I'm going to just stick heavyweight, and I'm going to kind of turn my nose up at those ultralight weenies and their sub 10-pound packs. And I think these attitudes are a disservice. And I think instead of thinking about, like, I live in this box and I'm going to occupy this box, maybe we need to start thinking about backpacking as a spectrum, where on one end, your goal is to hike, and on the other end, your goal is to enjoy camping. And you're going to fall somewhere in the middle of that spectrum. If this sounds familiar, it's because alright, I had to relocate. Some folks came by to play with their dogs, and anyway, found a little quiet spot here. So about 8 years ago, I read a blog post by a specific individual. Some say that his calluses have calluses, and that he has an irrational fear of waffles. All we know is he's called Andrew Skirka. And on his blog post, is the lightweight backpacking label dying as well as its UL, SUL, and XUL friends? I hope so. He discusses at length kind of how there should really only be 3 categories for backpacking. You should focus on hiking, you should focus on camping, or a crossover in between. And that has been one of the greatest changes to my mindset that I have ever experienced. Instead of boxing myself into a corner saying I'm only going to do UL, or I'm only going to do expedition weight, or I'm only going to do this, that, or the other thing, I sit down and I plan my trip and go, well, what do I want to do? Would I like to hike maybe 8 miles in a nice, relaxed way, have a nice, comfortable night in camp, and then head out? Or would I like to go and try and rack up 20 miles and then crash at nightfall and then get right back up bright and early and do it all over again? What's my goal? And I think this is a word of wisdom that we need to focus on as a community. So instead of locking ourselves into this idea of, well, I'm this, or I'm that, or my ideologies bring me here, instead, maybe just have in mind what you want to do and where you are, and kind of set your gear up and set your selection up that way. Don't let someone on the internet, of course, sell you a bill of goods about how you need to fit into X, Y, or Z category. Instead, just kind of look at all the options and assess what you want to do and where you're willing to compromise weight, where you're willing to compromise distance, where you're willing to compromise comfort, and build up your gear kit that way. Let's look at that visually. What would it look like? Well, I have this nice little animation here, and on this side we have hiking, and on this side we have camping. And where does that put me with my current setup? Well, I'm over here. I'm still fairly lightweight. I still keep my pack weight down below 15 pounds, but at the same time, I'm not willing to sacrifice a few extra things here and there that make me comfortable. I still bring my sit pad, I still bring my candle lantern, I bring a full spice kit. Little things here and there that can offer some comfort and some solace without breaking the weight bank. And I really encourage you to do the same, that maybe you can compromise here or there to, you know, shave some weight down, but over here, maybe you might want to bring that chair and don't feel guilty about it. Or if you know the weather's going to be foul, maybe bring a double wall tent. Don't hold yourself accountable to somebody else's standards, set your own standards. I encourage you, just get out there, figure out what you want to do, and figure out the best way to do it that's safe and gets you the enjoyment you deserve. So that'll be all for today. Thank you for this little ramble, and hope you're doing well.